Oh, yes. There are treats tonight. There will be treats tonight, too. Your reward. No, all good. People have just been emailing me or texting me, and that works as far as the registration. So you're good. You're paid. I thought I keep hearing about it. Huh? You did register, though. All right, it's that time. Welcome, everybody. Power Hour. We shall begin. Let's start standing near the top of our mat. We'll take a few moments just finding stillness, getting reconnected to breath and our bodies. You can start by taking a few deep breaths. A nice full inhale to feel the expansiveness in your heart, your lungs, your entire body. And exhale to completion. Nice release, letting go. Perhaps another full breath in, the feeling and the sound of the breath, and exhale. And just continue to breathe. As you make this connection to self, taking this journey inside of self. A moment of self-reflection, meditation. Perhaps breathing in a way where you can feel your breath. Notice how your body responds to each breath in and out. That might be the rise and fall of your chest or your belly or other parts of your body. And aware of the sound of your breath. Just very simple things to focus on as you come to this moment. Be more present, more aware. A reminder that breath will guide you through your practice, the foundation of our movement today. Nice full breath in. And perhaps on this exhale, draw your navel in towards your spine as you connect to your center. A light contraction of your abdominal muscles as we engage the abdominal lock. So again, a breath in, breath rising, filling up your lungs. Also feel the lengthening of your spine, grow a little taller. Exhale, draw navel in. Awareness of center. A place of stability, strength, helping us to be here in stillness, but also this sensation will help us move from pose to pose. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Prepare your body to move. Remember to move at your own pace. Take your time as you need to. Certainly modify any poses we do today. Together, we'll inhale, extend your arms out and up. Good extension, a reach, perhaps a stretch. And exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips with soft knees. Just slowly and carefully guide your way down to your forward fold. You don't have to go all the way down to touch your toes. Maybe your hands land at your shins or ankles, even your knees. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit to rise up just halfway to a flat back, parallel to the ground. On the exhale, either stay here or slide back down to your forward fold. And we'll hold for several breaths. Just getting in tune with these sensations in the body. What's happening? What do you feel? What are you aware of? And perhaps can you add to the sensation with a little movement? Maybe you'll circle your shoulders, big circles, backward and forward with the arms and shoulders. Gentle, slow nod, yes. Shake your head, no. Just release any tension in your neck. You might even open your mouth wide to yawn. Releasing any tension in your jaw, mouth, your neck. Let's return to a halfway lift. So inhale, slide hands up to shins or knees. Rise up halfway. We'll pause here at our half forward fold. And while you're here, just pay attention to the sense of being grounded. Both feet rooted into the earth, good balance, solid connection, softness in the knees. But do feel the engaged legs to hold you in place. Long torso parallel to the ground. From here, shifting weight into your heels, bend your knees to lower your hips and lift upper body. With an inhale, extend your arms out, then up, reaching high. Another nice stretch. On the exhale, you can bring your hands together down to your heart, or you can bring your arms down to your side, finishing your flow. And pause here for a moment, keeping this connection to breath. Let's repeat that sequence, our half salute to the sun. When you're ready, inhale, sweeping arms out and up. Good effort and energy in your hands, fingers. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward, soft knees. Again, just guiding your way down. Take your time. Releasing head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, slide hands to shins, rise up halfway to your flat back, half forward fold. Exhale, that slow slide back down towards toes. The same weight shift into your heels, bend your knees to lower your hips like you're sitting in a low chair, lifting upper body. Then inhale, extend arms out and up, perfect, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart or arms down to your side to complete the series. Another pause, aware of breath. Keep this connection, let it guide you, let it support you. We'll continue with our sun salutes. When you're ready, inhale, reaching arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Good hinge from hips. Always okay to bend your knees as you fold. Go at your own pace as you transition from pose to pose. Inhale, slide hands to shins, rise up halfway to a flat back. Exhale, we'll slide all the way back down. Bend the knees enough so you can place your hands out in front of you on your mat, near the top edge of your mat, and walk or step or even hop both feet to the back end of your mat. You'll be in plank pose, this high push-up position. Let's hold here for a moment. Nice strong upper body. Push into the floor with the hands. Strong straight arms. Even feel like you're holding on to something between your forearms. So a squeeze to midline. Stay here as you breathe in. We'll move on the exhale. Bend your knees a little, send your hips up into the air while your head and chest start to slowly sink between the arms. Your ears might run alongside your arms. Here's our downward facing dog. Feel free to adjust your feet on your mat. You can adjust your hands on your mat as you need to. Let's pay attention to the hands. Press firmly into the floor like you did in plank pose. Even press more toward your thumb and index finger in both hands. Pressing more towards inner palm. Feel that energy in the strong, straight arms. Notice, feel. Take another breath in. And the exhale, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop both feet. Return to the top of your mat. You'll be in forward fold. Good. Inhale, rise up halfway. Elongate through spine. Your crown leads you forward. Exhale, melt back down. Weight shift to heels, bend your knees. Let's inhale, reverse our swan dive, coming all the way up, reaching high. Let's keep it moving. On the exhale, take chair pose or a chair-like position, sitting back and down. You don't have to go down too deep. Let's change our arm posture. You're going to bend your elbows, about 90 degrees there, and then pull or draw the arms back, engaging the upper back, feeling sensation in your back body. Even imagine you're holding on to a pencil between or along your spine. You're squeezing to hold on to it. Meanwhile, in front, we're opening up through the chest. Let's breathe in. Then exhale, let's dive out of our chair, down towards toes, forward fold, releasing all of that energy there. Inhale, rise up halfway to our flat back. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, hands out front, hop, step, or walk, both feet back, plank pose. Another pause here, same thing. Push firmly into the earth, strong straight arms. Even feel, if you can, kind of a broadening sensation in your upper back. You're not collapsing in your back. We're going to do another shortcut to down dog. Breathe in first. Exhale, bend knees, hips to sky. Downward facing dog, head and chest sink. Pause for a moment right here. And then bring your knees to the floor. Tuck your toes and walk your hands towards your knees. And rise up here to what I call a kind of a half hero, getting a little stretch for the toes here. But just to relieve the risk, we're doing a lot on our hands. So at any point, you can always pause whenever you need to, just to relieve your hands, your wrists. You might do a counter pose with the wrists, or circle the wrists, or wiggle your fingers, whatever feels good for you to relieve your wrists. And when we come back out to plank pose, or actually down dog, you're gonna spread out your fingers pretty wide, okay? Just be aware of this kind of sensation in your down dog. Just broaden or widen your foundation. So you're gonna spread out your fingers so you feel a stretch between each finger. So let's go ahead and do that. Hands out front on your mat, spread out your fingers. Okay. Even grip your mat with your fingertips. Lean into your palms, push flat palms to open the palms. Feel the energy in strong, straight arms. Keep that energy. Now we'll tuck toes, lift knees and hips, downward facing dog, that same sinking sensation. Now that you have your fingers spread out, continue to press more towards thumbs and index fingers. Yes. Let's continue with a lunge. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Nice, strong, straight line. Perfect. Exhale, let's step right foot to the top of the mat. Once you've landed, you can even just be behind the right hand. Once you've landed, turn left heel to the floor behind you. Shift weight back into that foot so there's balance between the feet. So your hands are light. You can easily reach forward or out to the side and rise up. Reach high, lunge low. Let's repeat this bend of elbows here. And let's draw the arms back to open up through the heart space. Squeeze the imaginary pencil along your spine. Notice any other sensations. I notice my shoulders. Let's inhale, re-extend the arms straight up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Spread out your fingers before you land. And plant the palms, slide right foot back, plank pose. Same shortcut, bend knees, hips to sky. Downward facing dog. Make some adjustments with feet if you need to. If you move your hands, just be sure to keep the fingers spread out wide. Inhale, extend left leg into the air now, strong straight line. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat or behind left hand. Root or turn right heel to the floor, shift energy back into that space. So you can inhale, float up. There it is, warrior one. Pausing for a moment, same thing, we'll bend elbows. Drawing down and back, nice open heart. Engaging the back, squeezing the imaginary pencil. You might even, a little bit of a back bend if you want, just tipping heart up, even tip chin up slightly. We'll inhale, re-extend arms, reach, exhale, fold. Plant the hands, slide left foot back, plank. Still welcome to take that shortcut to down dog or finish your push-up here. You can bring knees to the floor first, then belly and chest. Finishing the push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Roll shoulders back away from the earth. And start lifting up our body. You might even pause here. Kind of a cobra. Up dog with straight arms, looking forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, next lunge sequence. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Let's open the hip here. Let's bend the right knee. Bring the heel down towards backside. Little lift of the knee. Making sure hands are still pressing firmly into the floor. So mainly the upper body is still kind of square while the hip opens to the right side. Breathe in. Exhale, unwind, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel to the earth behind you. Find center. Then rise. First warrior, rising up. And then exhale, opening up to your left. Arms to parallel. You'll be in warrior two. Make some adjustments with your feet. See a nice strong foundation. There you go. Yes. Wonderful. Good energy in the arms. Side angle pose. Let's reach forward. Angled upper body. Rotate the arms here. Reaching down with the right hand. Left hand reaching up initially. Good opening of the body. Yes. So right hand, of course, does not have to touch the floor. You can stay up quite high if you need to or want to. Stay here, but bring your left hand down behind you, either to your low back or even your left hip. And just check in to see if you still have some mobility in that left shoulder. So some circles with that shoulder. Maybe circle it back a few times. Even exaggerate that rolling of the shoulder. And then hold it back so you feel like the shoulder is behind your heart. and the heart can open. Then inhale, re-extend the left arm all the way up into the air. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the earth. Spread out your fingers, then land. Slide right foot back, plank pose. Strong straight arms, hug to midline with forearms. Finish your sequence. You can still take the shortcut to down dog or chaturanga dandasana. Modify that if you need to. Up dog or a cobra pose, or even something in between, or even lower. Meeting together in downward facing dog. You get to decide how you want to flow to get to down dog. You can skip any parts of those. Spread out your fingers, press thumbs and index fingers into the earth. Inhale, extend left leg up, strong straight line. Okay, then here's our hip opener. Left knee bends, bring it down towards back side. A little lift of that knee creates that twist in the spine. Little opening towards left side of the room. Again, being sure hands are firmly planted into the earth. Your shoulders are still a little bit more square. Just be aware if you've dipped quite a bit into your right hand or shoulder. Inhale, exhale, unwind, step through left foot to the top of the mat, right heel to the earth, find your center and balance. With light hands, we'll rise up, first warrior. Exhale, opening to your warrior two. Adjusting your foundation. Nice and tall as you make your full arrival in the posture, yeah. Side angle pose, reach forward, angled upper body, rotate here, staying up high as you'd like to, or carefully and slowly go down a bit lower. Maybe you do reach the earth with the fingers. We'll bring right hand down behind you, either to low back or right hip. So you have some mobility in the shoulder, so you can give it a few circles. Just getting into that shoulder girdle a little bit, rolling it back, and then holding it back to help open up through heart space. That's it. Inhale, re-extend right arm all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, turn and fold, hands to the earth. Spread out your fingers, plant the hands, slide left foot back, plank pose, finishing your sequence. Meeting in down dog. Remember, you can skip things, you can add things, or certainly modify your flow. We'll meet in down dog. Just bring knees to the floor. You might even take your knees a little bit wider, not too much. You can keep toes tucked or flat feet. Sit back just a little bit, but walk your hands forward and even bring forearms and elbows to the ground. So we're moving into puppy pose, which can be a variation of child's pose. Child's pose, we usually sit all the way back, hips all the way down towards the heels. But here's a nice alternative where your hips stay relatively stacked over the knees or slightly behind them. Arms out front. You might have a kind of a straighter torso, but you might even get this little bit of a back bend sensation as the chest kind of sinks towards the earth. And just notice those sensations. Also be aware of your shoulders, your back, elbows, yes. Very nice. 2 more breaths. Let's rise back up to hands and knees. And adjusting your body so your hips are over the knees, your shoulders are over the wrists, into this tabletop posture. Let's take a side plank. Tap your right foot and you swing your right foot off to the right side. We're going to extend the left leg back behind us onto our toes. And then open up to the left side of the room. You've got it. Left hand reaching into the air. So we have a modified side plank. We've got this anchoring effect with the right leg and foot to help hold us in place. Still pushing firmly into the earth with this right hand, strong arm. And as you're able, maybe shifting a little bit of weight into the right hand so you can maybe pick up left leg and foot, flexing the left foot. Good stability here. Breathe in. Exhale a slow return to the earth. Left hand, left knee. Bring that right kickstand back in. 2 breaths, cat and cow. Inhale, open the heart, look forward, arch your back. Exhale, round. One more. We'll finish just in a neutral tabletop posture, and we'll do that same pose other side. So we'll make a kickstand with the left foot so you have some balance. Lean to that left hand and left knee so you can extend the right leg back and open up to the right side. Right arm extends into the air. Good openings. A little shift of weight into this left hand. You're really going to sense that shoulder right over the wrist. So you can pick up the right foot, right leg, maybe flexing the right foot just to keep that right leg energized as it lifts in the air. So some upper body strength here as we open up sideways. Breathe in, and our exhale to slowly return to the earth. Right hand, right knee, bring kickstand back in. Okay, cat-cow, 2 breaths. Little back bend in your cow, rounded spine, belly towards spine in cat. Let's take our half hero again. So you might tuck toes, start to sit back, walk your hands towards your knees so you can get off the wrists. Okay, so another opportunity to massage or rest the wrists here. So that puppy pose, so while you're there, so puppy pose is really just a nice alternative to maybe coming all the way down to a child's pose. Sometimes our knees just don't allow this, or even our ankles don't allow the sitting all the way down and back. So just coming up quite a bit if you want. Tuck toes or flat feet. You might need to take knees a bit wider. It might just be here, okay? But you can even take arms a little bit farther out front, kind of sink the chest. Bring forehead down to the ground, a little bit more active here, or arms on the ground. Okay, so let's go ahead and return to our puppy pose. So our arms out front. Hips maybe aligned over the knees, or it's just sitting back a bit. Just know you don't have to sit all the way back to the heels. And just getting a sense of what this feels like through the back body as the arms extend out in front of you. Yes. So it is an elongated torso. Notice if there's an arched back or a slight arch in the back as the chest kind of sinks. And if that's the case, notice what's happening in the shoulders. Okay? Especially if your hands are out front there, yeah. 3 more breaths. All right, if your elbows are not touching the ground in this posture, bring the elbows down to the ground. Maybe rising up just a little bit here. Now, we go to what I call dolphin plank. So we're going to do plank pose, but on our elbows. So you can keep your arms parallel to one another, or bring your hands in a little bit towards each other, more of a triangle shape, elbows slightly out, but still underneath the shoulders. Before you lift the knees, shift your weight forward towards the hands. Okay, so you have a little bit less weight in the elbows, so more towards the hands and forearms. Maybe tuck toes so you can lift your knees off the ground and adjust the feet and legs so they're kind of straight and long behind you. Okay, so maybe you have parallel arms or triangle-shaped arms, but shifting the weight more towards hands, fingers, a little bit less weight in the elbows. So it's a plank pose, so come down a little lower. Not quite dolphin, but dolphin plank. 2 more breaths. So some upper body, some core work here. And then bring knees to the floor. Come back up onto your hands. Spread out your fingers. Tuck toes, return to down dog. Inhale, extend right leg straight up and back. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Let's go to a high lunge this time. Left heel stays lifted, shifting weight back towards that lifted left heel. Again, light hand so you can rise up. Let's hold here for a moment. Reach high, lunge low. We're going to do that same arm positioning here. Bend elbows, draw back, open up through the heart. Maybe a little lift of the chest and chin for that slight back bend appeal. Let's reach up, look forward, open warrior two. Okay. And let's reverse the warrior. Flip the right palm up, reach up into the air. Nice extension, might be straight up, might be slightly behind you for a little bit of a side bend. Now the left hand and arm, you can just let it rest kind of down that left side, or left hand on hip, or wear your arm like a belt, okay? Just along the waistline. And with the right hand in the air, bring that right hand down to the back of your head or top of your head. And you're going to point with your elbow, point up. And just notice if there's any sensation down along the tricep or down the side of the body in this minor bind we're creating. We'll release the bind by re-extending the arms, big cartwheel out of the pose, around and down, spread out your fingers, plant, slide right foot back, plank. Take a shortcut to down dog, bend knees, hips to sky. Feel the head and chest sink between the arms. Just a reminder to keep thumbs and index fingers pressing towards center. Inhale, extend left leg into the air, reach, good. And exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Here's our high lunge on this side, crescent lunge. Right heel stays lifted, shifting the weight back for that centering and balance. So you have that opening of the box, opening the lid of the box sensation. And we'll bend our elbows, nice active hands. Draw the arms back, squeeze the imaginary pencil. A little back bend appeal by lifting chest or sternum, tip chin up. Nice breath in as you feel that expansiveness in the heart space. We'll inhale, re-extend the arms up. Exhale, opening to your warrior two. And we'll reverse our warrior. Left palm turns up, reach up. It might be slightly forward. It could be straight up or slightly behind. Right arm might just be resting alongside the body, or right hand on right hip, or wear your arm on like a belt. Okay, just along your belt line there. Left hand, just bring it down to the top or back of your head. So you can point up with the elbow, just engaging, noticing any sensations there. Just opening up through the sides of the body, tricep muscles, shoulders. Let's re-extend the arms straight up and down, big cartwheel out of the pose. Around and down to the floor, spread out your fingers, plant the hands, slide left foot back. Pause for a moment in this plank pose. Finishing your push-up perhaps, Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows hug in towards midline. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Let's return to standing. Nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's hold forward fold for a moment. Maybe a heaviness in the body as gravity draws you down. Maybe your arms are just kind of hanging there too. That heaviness. Even some mobility, same thing. So maybe some big circles with the shoulders, roll them backward, roll them forward, nice release, or even stirring a big pot of soup with your arms. Nod yes, shake your head no. And then our weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees, lower your hips, extend the torso. Maybe arms out to the side as you inhale and reach up, rise up, yes? Exhale, arms down to your side. Good. Just pausing here, check in with your body. Notice how you're feeling. So just some of these movements are just kind of getting into our shoulders, the strength of the shoulder, okay? Rotation of the shoulder. We're really also paying attention to our foundations here, okay? In our down dog, spreading out the fingers, just noticing if you kind of roll out to your pinky and even create that pocket right there. Not a very firm, strong foundation. We want to flatten that. Hug to midline, okay? All right, flowing from here. Let's inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, take your chair pose. You don't have to sit back and down too deep. Maybe here is fine. Again, bend elbows, open heart. Still moving, breathe in. Exhale, dive. Forward fold, release. Inhale, monkey pose. That's our halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands to the earth, hop or step back, plank pose. Stay in plank. Bring knees to the floor. Sit all the way back to hero, just very briefly. Getting off the hands, you're going to sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front. Scoot forward so you're sitting in the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Draw the knees in. Give yourself a hug. A couple of breaths. Just get reacquainted with the breathing. Some movement in the hips, your back, a little massage. Check in with your feet. You can even check in with your hands and wrists again here too. So a bridge pose, we're going to add the bind to our bridge as you're able. So let's first plant the feet into the ground. You can certainly take the knees and feet wider than your hips if you need to or want to, if that feels better to you. Once you got that strong foundation, inhale, fill up the lungs. Exhale, using that energy and power to lift hips up into the air. You don't have to lift too high, just enough. We start to open up the front body. Now with the upper body, kind of rock left and right, maybe several times to get your arms and shoulders underneath you. Again, opening up through the chest or mimicking, kind of trying to squeeze that pencil along the spine. It's going to feel different though, here. And as you're able, getting the arms underneath you, hands underneath you, can you interlace your fingers underneath you? If you can't reach to interlace the fingers, don't worry about it, okay? Maybe you just have the arms down by your side or even bend your elbows so your arms are at 90 degrees and just push down into the floor with the backs of your arms. It'll be your triceps to help support the upper body. But if you are able to interlace fingers, you might feel the backs of your shoulders push down into the floor to help lift and open the front body. Good, 2 more breaths. Start to soften, release the bind in the fingers, wiggle the toes forward. Maybe extend both arms up into the air. That'll get the shoulders out from underneath you. Slowly and carefully roll back down to the ground. Once you've landed, extend your arms behind you, extend your legs out in front of you. Stretch, lengthen, reach. Let's draw knees into chest. You can rock your way up to seated or roll to your side and press yourself up to seated. Let's come to a boat pose here. Establish your balance. I usually start with knees bent, heels on the floor, holding on to the bent legs to extend the spine. Find the angle that works for you best to engage in the belly here. You can stay just like this with free hands, or find that balance, leaning back a bit, walking the heels towards yourself into the feet until your feet just easily lift on their own. Maybe parallel to the floor, your shins parallel to the floor, or maybe starting to extend the legs. Keep active feet. I usually flex my feet, but you can point your toes there too. Okay, and there's our boat pose. Okay, moving from here, breathe in and exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to your side. So you get your legs and feet back behind you, plank pose. Okay, you're gonna bring knees to the floor. Now don't worry if they're not underneath your hips, because they don't have to at this point. Actually, you're gonna Keep your knees behind your hip. If you're going to draw a line from your hip straight down, it's going to hit the floor, okay, right here. So your hips are out in front of the knees. Spread out your fingers. Push into the floor, flat palms, strong, straight arms. Squeeze to midline with the arms like you're trying to hold on to something. We're shifting forward a little bit. Your hips might sink a little, but you're pulling forward or shifting forward. Bend elbows. Make sure they're not going out, but more behind you towards the back corners of your mat. Bending elbows and coming down a little bit. So we're kind of partially down, like so. Hugging in. Hands are at work. Arms are at work. Holding you still. Bending elbows, coming down a little lower. Hug to midline. Pull belly in. Now I'm pushing into the floor to straighten the arms. Let the hips kind of sink. Heart opens, facing forward. You're looking forward. So you have more of an up dog sensation here. Soften this by sending hips back. Tuck toes, puppy pose. Arms out in front. Sink the chest. Two more breaths. Set elbows onto the floor. Shift your whole upper body forward. And again, shifting weight towards the hands and fingers. Now your arms can remain parallel or bring the hands in for more of a triangle shape. Tuck toes, lift knees, dolphin plank, so a straight line. Like you're a nice, low, long coffee table. We're going to open up to the left side of the room, keeping right arm on the floor. You can certainly bring that right knee or leg to the floor as you open up sideways. Right arm stays on the floor, opening up to the left side of the room. Good, yes. Pelvis pushing forward. You can even lift that left leg if you'd like. Very strong here. Breathe in, nice. Exhale as return this left forearm to the floor. If you can, kind of roll right through it to the other side. Now you can turn that arm at an angle just to help that balance of the body, stabilize the body. Okay, you're getting strength in this arm and shoulder. Lifting the right hip up so you're not sinking or collapsing into the hips. Maybe floating the right leg up, flexing the foot. Breathe in. And our exhale, return to our dolphin plank. Toes to the floor, knees to the floor, either a child's pose or puppy pose, you decide. Just for a rest. If you do come all the way down to child's pose, you might then bring your arms alongside your body for embryo pose, just to relax your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your back. Three more breaths. And then rise to hero pose if that feels comfortable to you. If not, just take a regular seat. Okay? We're making our way towards dolphin, just trying to get enough shoulder opening, chest expansion, back engagement, just all the parts that we might need for a pose like dolphin. So here's an option that you can use for dolphin pose. One was, because our arms are on the floor, parallel arms. This is typical. Palms flat down, parallel arms, or bringing the palms in flat, or turning the hands so the palms are facing each other. You might even hold on to a block. I like this because it gives you something to push into, midline squeeze, but also the arms here too. You can push down into the floor because you don't want to collapse in the upper back. Can you see me collapse here? I'm pushing down to expand that upper back. Holding onto the block. I got a good grip here. Tucking toes, lifting knees. You can start here. Shifting forward, getting more weight and pressure towards the block. Maybe tiptoe forward a bit. Hips start to lift, head and chest can sink between the arms. Okay? But a lot of the pressure is still at the hands. Okay? I could lift my elbows there, okay? Because I don't want to be sitting back in my elbows too much. Forward. So that grip of the block might help. Maybe we want to try that. Okay? So grab your block, get it out front there. So now I have palms facing each other, which might be another good way to be in dolphin. It might help with the shoulders. So hold the block, squeeze the block, like you're trying to smash it, okay? And then push down into the floor with the block, but also with the forearms. Okay, notice your upper back. Broaden the back as you push forearms and elbows downward. Broaden the back. Even draw belly button up towards spine. It'll feel like you're doing cat pose. Even shift a little bit more weight towards the block. Squeeze it, push it down, tuck toes. Exhale, lift knees just barely off the floor. Are you still shifting the weight forward? Okay, even push through your toes to keep that weight forward. Maybe start to send hips up as head and chest start to sink between the arms. They don't have to go all the way down between the arms, just a little. Still shifting weight forward, grip solidly on that block, root into the floor with the forearms. 3, 2, 1. Let's come back down to the ground. Good. Sit back into hero. Excuse me? The block really helps even out the weight. Yeah, the block helps, one, because of this rotation, gets it out of your shoulders, and that grip, you have something to hold on to, and it keeps you forward. And Chris had that good idea, or the idea of everything needs to shift forward, then it makes it easy for a leg extension. Okay, if we were to take it into peacock feather pose or forearm balance. Okay, because if your weight is too far back, okay, if I was here doing my dolphin or something and I'm way back here and my hands are flippity flappity there, okay, and the elbows are here, this is one, it's not comfortable, okay. I can probably get a leg up. If I was going to try to do a balance, man, I've got a long way to go to try to get all that up into the air. But if I'm shifting forward, bring the palms in or even send them together. You can even do fists, something like this, okay? It's just going to make that extension just feel a little bit lighter. Okay, so if not holding onto the block, fists, so you have this rotation rather than that rotation, if that makes sense. Okay, one more time, either using the block or even try fists. Let's go ahead and do that again. Forearms out front on the ground, maybe holding onto the block or fists. Okay, activate, squeeze or crush that block, squeeze it, push down into the floor, broaden your back, engage your core like you're doing cat pose. Round, tuck toes, lift knees just a little. All that engagement of squeezing to midline with the upper body. There you go. You might tiptoe forward a little bit. Head and chest sink. You've got it. There you go. Body weight shifting forward. Think all energy in the hands. Okay, up near wrists. There's still some pressure on the elbows, but not as much. Come back down, rest. Yes. Okay. Stay there. Let me show you what transition we're going to do. We're going to go through a flow again. We'll be in Warrior 2, side angle. Nice opening here. We're going to a right side plank. My right hand is going to come down to the floor. My right leg's not facing the right direction. Okay, my toes are facing the right. I need to spin on the toes so the toes face the left. Okay, it's going to displace the hips so I can slide or step this left foot back, stack them, and open up to a side plank. You could bring knee to the floor if you need to. Okay, so we get a side plank, nice opening, shoulder strength. Inhale. The exhale, I'm going to step this top leg and foot forward for balance. Bend this left arm. Lift. I'm just kind of pivoting on my toes, bending knees just to get lower to the floor. Okay, I'm not going to drop this arm. I'm just going to set it down. That's why I got on my toes, bent the knees. Got this down. And reopen on the other side. Forearm balance right there. Inhale. Exhale. To here. Maybe it's folded fingers. Fists. Grab that block. Because you're going to walk into your dolphin. Weight is forward. It's just going to make it so much easier if I was going to extend a leg and go into a balance. Okay? So that's our transition. Downward facing dog. Maybe have a block out front if you think you might be using your block. Downward facing dog. Prepping like we did earlier. Spread out fingers, press more towards thumbs and index fingers. Strong straight arms. It's just energizing the arms and getting them ready for those tough dolphin postures. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Upper body still quite strong and square. Unwind on the exhale, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel to the earth. Find center. Rise up, first warrior. Exhale, opening warrior two. Adjust your feet. Side angle, reach out, tip it over, right hand down, left hand up. Nice opening of the heart. Good. Okay, here's our transition to left side plank. Inhale. Exhale, turn to bring your left hand to the floor. We need to change that left leg behind us. Spin on the toes. Slide or step this right leg back. Stack it on top of the other. Even take the time if you need to set the left knee onto the floor. Left side plank. More upper body strength. Okay, here's our transition to forearm balance. Inhale. Exhale, step that right foot forward. Bend the right arm, bend your knees so you can lift your hips. Start to turn and set lightly the right arm onto the floor so you're not dropping onto your elbow. And then just open up to the left side of the room. There's our side plank. Yes. Wonderful. Breathe in. Exhale, both forearms are on the floor. Fold fingers or fists. Palms could be on the floor, or grab your block. Shift weight towards wrists, towards hands. Tiptoe forward. Lift hips. Sink chest. Okay. Rooting into the floor with the fists, forearms. Yes. Set knees onto the floor. Quick puppy pose. Extend the arms out front. Let the head and chest kind of sink for a few breaths. Getting into the shoulders just a bit. A little sway in the back like a back bend. One more breath. Good, maybe walk the hands in a little bit so you can rise up, two hands and knees. Spread out your fingers. Let's get that all nicely planted. Strong straight arms. Press more towards thumbs and index fingers. Tuck toes, lift knees and hips, down dog. So you can set up for the other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend and twist. It's just a lower spinal rotation. Upper body staying relatively square here. Inhale, and exhale to unwind, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat, back to our warrior one. Warrior two. Side angle. Good, reach high and low, good openings here. Getting ready for our right side plank. Inhale. Exhale, right hand to the floor. Spin that back leg. So toes are facing the other side. Slide the left leg back, stack it on top of the other. They can also be staggered. Nice openings. For a smooth transition, we're stepping the left foot forward, bend this left arm, bend the knees so you can lift the hips, turn, gently, lightly set the left arm onto the floor, and then open up to the other side. Breathe in. Exhale, right forearm to the floor. Okay? So dolphin plank, basically. Can't get the weight out towards fists or hands, wrists away from elbows. Push into the earth, broad back. Tiptoe forward. Hips lift. Head and chest sink. There is a bend in the knees, perhaps. Keep rooting strongly into the earth with the forearms, with the hands. There you go. Nice. 2 more breaths. Very strong. We'll set knees onto the floor. 1 more puppy pose. Arms extend. Sink the chest. I like what you did, Beth, here. You set your head on the floor, set your forehead on the floor, and brought your elbows on the floor, but your hands reaching back to your neck or upper mid-back. Three more breaths. Gently and slowly coming out of this posture, maybe just rising to hero for a moment. Maybe a little circle of the shoulders. Check in with your wrists and fingers. We're just going to make our way back down to the earth when you're ready. So off to the side, swing legs forward. Shifting forward, space behind you, so you can roll onto your back. Hug it in. Add some movement. Check in with your breathing. Your feet, your ankles, your toes. Maybe you're still massaging wrists, hands, and fingers. And then choose a hip opener that you like. Maybe it's happy baby pose, reclining cobbler's pose, even reclining pigeon pose, or another name for that is eye of the needle pose. Any variation of those postures that would feel good to you as a hip opener, hip release. So we've shifted to our closing sequences. So just taking your time now, lots of engaging upper body work in our practice today. So taking some time to wind down, cool down, and just check in with other body parts that might need our attention. So first, maybe just hips. From here, maybe I'm just going to throw out some ideas. You choose what feels good to you. Maybe leg extensions, going upside down, some inversion. That simply could be legs in the air. We're sitting on a block and then extending legs in the air. More dynamic, maybe shoulder stand if you wanted to. Okay. So that's your inversions. We have more back bends, maybe another bridge pose if you'd like. There's fish pose, even a full wheel pose if you want to fire things up again. And of course, twists. Nice spinal rotation. Yeah, so just moving into poses that just feel good to you, not really needing to think about what to do. Just listen to and follow your body. About 5 minutes left, so continue to flow, to move as you would like, just being sure to give yourself a bit of time to come to complete stillness, some yin posture that could be shavasana or any other pose that would be relaxing to you, disengaging. Good. Noticing your breath, follow your breath. Whenever you feel complete with your movements, make your way to Shavasana or any other restorative pose, something that allows you to return to stillness, be at ease in your body, your mind, a restful moment of meditation. Return to the awareness of your breath. Simply notice that you are breathing. And as you return to this awareness, take 5 slow, steady breaths, mindful, intentional breathing. Aware of how your body is now responding to these deep breaths. The rise and fall of your chest or belly. Filling yourself up with this new pranic energy. Acknowledging your practice, a strong dynamic flow of sequences. And if you finish those 5 breaths, take another 5 breaths, this time bringing movement back into your body. Feeling movement return, this energy rise. Still aware of the strength and energy you generated in your practice. Let it resonate through you. And when you feel ready, slowly and carefully roll to one side of your body. Brief pause in this nurturing pose. And then still moving in slow motion, guide your way up to seated. Once you found your way here, nicely extended spine, nice tall body, relaxed shoulders, arms and hands. You can stay just like this, or bring hands to heart center if you'd like. Wherever you are, just taking one more full and complete breath, filling yourself up on the inhale, exhale to completion. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste. Namaste. All right, yogis. You're welcome. You did it.